Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to the podcast today. So I want to talk about the worst foods for your eyes. Usually we talk about what are the best foods, like avocados and goji berries and wild caught salmon. But I want to talk about the worst foods today. So nutrition for eye health. There's certain foods that so negatively affect your eyes. When people come for eye exams and they've got like hypertensive retinopathy or diabetic retinopathy, or they are developing cataracts, and I ask them what they're eating, and I have to scratch my head because, well, these are some of the reasons why your eyes are letting you down. So, conditions like macular degeneration, cataracts, dry eye, even general vision deterioration, here are some of the worst foods for your eye health. Number one, sugary foods and sugary drinks. So when we have things like Diet Coke or Pepsi, or we're eating, things like sweetened coffee, tea, desserts, sugary cereals, candy, pastries, all of these sugars really are a death spiral for our eyes. I mean, if you want to really trash your eyesight, then just eat things like candy, pastries, sugary cereals, soda, sweetened coffee, tea, and desserts, and you will get there. Number two, what's also really bad for your eyes are the refined carbohydrates, because these spike your blood sugar levels. And when you eat foods that are, say, high glycemic index, this increases your risk for things like cataracts. We talk about something called the glycation process. So if you have moderate to high levels of glucose in your blood, those glucose molecules will attach to the protein molecules in the lens, and this is what creates cataracts. Same thing for diabetes. If you've got, again, these refined carbohydrates, then you have a higher risk of, number one, getting inflammation, number two, getting oxidative stress, and number three, over time, you are going to have what we call reactive oxygen species, which contributes to these eye conditions. So what are some examples of refined carbs? White bread, white rice, anything that's white. Pasta, processed snacks, crackers, chips. Again, really bad for your eyes. Okay, number three, trans fats and hydrogenated oils. Why is this so bad? Because trans fats contribute to inflammation, which can increase the risk of things like blepharitis, meibomian gland dysfunction. Those are when the eyelids get inflamed and creates dry eye. Macular degeneration, whether it's wet or dry, again, these unhealthy fats interfere with the absorption of the essential nutrients like omega-3s, which are crucial for eye health. So what are some examples? Fried foods, margarine, packaged baked goods, and processed snacks. All right, let's go to number four, high sodium foods. Well, diets high in sodium lead to high blood pressure. I had a guy yesterday who came to my office. He's got really high blood pressure. I asked him what he's eating. He says, well, canned soups, processed meats, frozen dinners, fast food. All of these things are going to affect the delicate blood vessels. I call them the microcapillaries of the retina. This creates hypertensive retinopathy. Also, sodium contributes to fluid retention. So this may cause puffiness or irritation on the outside part of the eyes, and could be one of the causative factors of wet macular degeneration, which is the edema that is accumulating behind the macula. All right, my number five worst foods that you can eat, processed meats. Why? Because again, these are high in both saturated fats and sodium and can negatively affect your eye health. Remember, high fat diets increase the risk of AMD. Now, this is the bad fats. It creates plaque in the blood vessels, which affects the blood flow into the eyes. These would be things like bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, and smoked meats. Now, let's go to number 6. Fried foods. Fried foods are rich in the trans fats. I've talked about the trans fats before, unhealthy oils, which creates oxidative stress and inflammation. Examples would be fried chicken, French fries, donuts, onion rings. This also creates a cholesterol buildup in the eye. We see something in the iris called arcocinilis. And that can tell us, number one, that we're in high cholesterol. Number two, our liver is probably not working very well. Your gallbladder too. And you're not absorbing the good fats and the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, lutein, and zeaxanthin. Number 7 on my list, artificial sweeteners and additives. Certain artificial sweeteners and preservatives contribute to eye inflammation. This can lead to dry eye, allergic reactions, red eyes. What would be some examples? Diet sodas. I know a lot of people, they just love the Diet Cokes. Those are so negative for you, for your vision. So we look at packaged low-calorie snacks. That's another thing that you want to be careful about in terms of having additives, artificial sweeteners. Number 8 on my list is alcohol. Again, excessive alcohol consumption dehydrates the body, which includes causing dry eye syndrome. It also reduces the absorption of essential vitamins like vitamin A, B complex, which are very important for eye health. So chronic alcohol increases the risk of something called optic neuropathy, which damages the optic nerve. We see this in glaucoma as an example. So, of course, examples would be excessive beer, wine, liquor, and cocktails. Number 9 on my list is red meat in excess. Why is it bad? Because red meat while red meat does provide zinc, which is an essential trace mineral for eye health, excessive consumption of fatty red meat has been linked to increased conditions like macular degeneration. We need to be very careful of our cholesterol buildup if our liver is not working properly. So this would be things like steak, hamburgers, and other fatty cuts or beef or pork. And number 10 on my list, high sugar breakfast cereals. These cereals are not only high in refined sugars, but they also lack essential nutrients. High sugar intake can lead to things like inflammation, the risk of cataracts, macular degeneration. What would be some examples? Sugary breakfast cereals, granola bars, instant oatmeal. These are added sugars. So my argument is, in conclusion, is if you want to have optimal eye health, you have to avoid these 10 types of foods. Because what you do need for healthy eyes, omega-3, vitamins, especially vitamin A, B, C, and E, zinc, glutathione. Where do you get these? Leafy green vegetables, wild-caught salmon, nuts and seeds, preferably soaked and dehydrated. Also the colorful vegetables. I love berries. And think rainbow diet. Reduce your intake of sugar, processed foods, and unhealthy fats, and that will help you protect your vision. So that's our show for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care.